Light and beauty of God. To consciously choose to accept that you are the light and the beauty of God is the journey of this lifetime and every lifetime. Every lifetime that you've walked on this earth, you were in a state that said, I think I am something that has no resemblance to the light and the beauty of God. But now, in the present moment, is the beginning of acceptance. To come to the deep realization that you have incarnated into this lifetime for this one purpose: to remember the light, the beauty, the innocence of all that is. And the mind that thinks it knows something keeps saying, how can this be? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know that I approve. The ego loves to approve. The ego loves to think that its mental capacity is important. But the ego has never met the heart. It has no awareness of the heart at all. Heart, love, peace, harmony. The pretend identity has no relationship to love. It is a learning place. It is the place where you learn to surrender into the hands of God all concepts of being separate, all concepts of right and wrong, good and bad, all perceptions of the need of anything. This holy journey is grace-filled and blessed because you are the light of God returning home. The light of God is all that there is. Whether you're aware of it or not. Every moment. choosing peace and harmony every moment, using every situation, every moment. To choose love, to choose peace, to choose harmony, and refuse the past. Because when you refuse to accept turmoil, hardship, scarcity, and even refusing to accept death at the core, as you refuse to accept these lies, you accept consciously peace. You declare your choice. You declare with happiness what you truly want. The power of your choice is the learning. In the past, you believed you had no choice. In the past, you believed that everything happened to you, and that you had to protect and defend and figure things out. And this self-made prison was agreed to be your theories and your experiences, and you presumed your knowing. Now is the time for love to shine by your choice. And that choice, you will discover, is love. It expresses self-love. Every time you choose peace and harmony, you choose self-love. You join in the light. And you serve the peace of truth. Standing in that divine choice. No one else can make that choice for you. No one is doing anything to keep you from that choice. No situation is occurring that is only by your own making and does not keep you from the choice of love. When you choose the past, when you choose the belief in struggle, conflict, fear, hatred, anger, resentment, vengeance, worry, when you choose those aspects of hatred, it is part of the defense system that says no to love. Keeps you busy, keeps you occupied and distracted. Because the secret that everyone holds together in the journey of love is the fear of love. The fear that love will swallow you up. And the fear of losing control of what you think you have control over is the funniest discovery of all. When you discover that all of your shenanigans, all of your theories and strategies were for nothing. All of your thinking, you knew what the evidence meant, that you saw, that you experienced. And then you discover, I was trying to control an illusion. I was trying to control my little world that I made up. And it was all smoke and mirrors to begin with. Don't be alarmed when you discover that all the thinking that you did was for nothing. That all the hours that you spent making plans, assessing, having opinions and judgments, and thinking you knew something, and that 2 and 2 equals 4. And then you discover it was all made up. There's nothing to control in love. There's nothing to control in harmony and peace. Love is. Love flows. And all that your journey is about is to get into the little boat and let the river take you. To trust that the power of love has no dire motives. To trust that the power of love is not something to fight with. It is not your adversary that you're going to win and you're going to challenge love. It is guaranteed that you will remember love. Guaranteed. But why in the sanity of love would you spend time battling to distract and delay the inevitable return to love? Why wouldn't you be so grateful that there is only one requirement, which is letting go of what you think you know? In all the myriads of ways that you believe you know. It's the happiness of the heart that sings, I don't know who I am. I don't know what anything is for. I don't know how to look on this situation, this beloved. I don't know the outcome of anything or what it should look like. I don't know. And in that divine not knowing, love whispers and leads and shows the way. It's not possible for a beloved not to have that divine love connection with God. It's your natural state. You can keep yourself busy enough that you don't remember. You can keep yourself busy enough and thinking you know enough and filled with ideas and noise that you can't hear, that you can't commune, that you can't ask for help, and you can't choose. But truly, there is no I can't in love. Love is waiting. And all of humanity is waiting. Waiting through prayer. For your remembering. Humanity is waiting to be seen through love. Every beloved. And you could say to every beloved, sorry, busy knowing. I'll join you instead in the misery, instead of offering the truth of love. The divine charity of love. The divine purpose of remembering. The willingness to serve the return to oneness. In this, the heart can say yes. The heart can say yes, and in that yes, the miracles of transformation are brought into manifestation. Only love. And so in this moment, as in every moment, is the divine opportunity, the holy moment of breathing in the union of love. The holy breath of love, as you fill every cell with your deep, deep breath. How do you breathe during your day? As little as possible, so that it doesn't interfere with your thinking. To breathe deeply is to have to actually focus on breathing. And it interferes with the chattering of the mind. That is actually its purpose. If you focus on divine breath, there's no room for your theories, your observations, your assessments, all of the knowing that you were busy with. So breathe now and break the trance. Breathe deeply and fully, inviting in the sacred breath, and as you release, releasing all mind concepts, releasing all the tension that has come from the mind, all of the ideas that keep the body tense, that keep the energy bodies on alert, having to pay attention to thinking and forgetting holy breath. As you breathe deeply and fully, don't be afraid of the noise. It has a purpose too. You can't hear your thoughts when the breath is loud. With every breath is the opportunity to return to one breath. It's the only thing within this world, beyond energy, that is of the physical body, that is actually shared. As you breathe in, you're breathing in what someone else has breathed out. The holy union of breath. No keeping private breath, private thoughts in your own private world. Everything becomes the holy union of breath. The sharing of breath. Opening and expanding. The willingness to, by choice, breathe and surrender all the energy bodies to be opened and join in union. Nothing to protect or defend. Accepting that you are the light of God. And as you continue to breathe, breathing deeply into the heart, happily, joyously, opening the heart by choice and bringing the heart forward, open and undefended by choice. Saying yes. I'm willing to join in this holy union of love and surrender all concepts that I've held of separation. And breathing into the energy bodies, the willingness to surrender all tension that has been held from the mind, coming through the I know. Letting it all go. There's nothing to hold on to, nothing to protect. The willingness to let go of the habits of the past. Yes, in the past you developed a tension that you believed was your friend to hold you in caution. Now is the moment of letting go. The acceptance that there is nothing to be cautious about. Nothing that can hold any idea of worry that is authentic. The willingness to turn away from the past and surrender the future into the hands of God. Willing, deeply willing. Open each door, dear God. Unfold the future, dear God. It's in your hands, dear God. I give it to you, dear God. Love is calling. In this moment, as you continue to breathe by choice, consciously, avowing that you want to continue to breathe deeply in every moment as you walk on the earth plane. that you are willing to focus on the breath, because it affirms and it supports your healing and remembering. Breathing. Allowing and affirming that here in the infinite circle of love we are one. Affirming this universe is all love. Affirming this sanctuary is filled with love. Affirming there is only one presence here. It is the life force of God. And within this life force we live and move and breathe as one. One breath. Breathing. Allowing. Allow this prayer to pierce your heart, asking for the piercing, asking for the transformation that you truly want, and affirmed with your heart that, of course, in your asking, it will always be given. The willingness to be available, to commune with the divine. I am Mary of Conception. I am seeking to open your heart, offering my love and guidance as your suffering world comes apart. Bring your pain like a flower to open. Bring your sorrow to place at my feet. Tears that are watering my garden in the river of Jordan will meet. Oh, my children, I seek your surrender. Both the path and the message are clear. My Saint John is walking beside you, holding your hand through this fear. Keep your strength as you seek to be humble. Let the power that guides you reveal all the blessings of my holy rapture, confirming you know what is real. All the beings of love are calling to you, always calling to you, always available, seeking to open your heart with your yes. There is no power of love that can force you to open your heart. If you choose the distraction of your knowing, it is your choice. It is your choice of refusing the invitation. Love wants to serve you, to open your heart, offering the love and the guidance that will lead you out of the misery that you've made, the misery of the belief that you are separate. As your suffering world comes apart, which in the journey of love, your world that you made up will come apart. It can't stay intact. as you remember love. But don't be afraid of letting go of what is nothing. It's really the calling to recognize that you have worshipped your little private world. And the acceptance in the honesty that it's never really brought you anything. And that you're now willing to accept peace and harmony and joy. Joy in every moment. Instead of what you think you know. Bring your pain like a flower to open. Truly. In the honesty. Bring your pain. What you have believed in is your pain. What you've carried in your mind, filling your mind with all these concepts of knowing and strategies and judgment, conclusions, all of it so small, so tedious, so worth nothing. Bring your pain like a flower to open. Bring your sorrow to place at my feet right now. The sorrow that you've carried of believing that you were without. The sorrow of believing that death was real. The sorrow of believing that you could be betrayed. The sorrow of the belief that you are separate. Letting it all go. Surrendering it all. And love is seeking your surrender. Keep your strength, the strength of truth, the strength of the light. That is where your strength is. It isn't in what you think you know. That's the weakness. That's the belief in weakness, the belief in separation, the strength of love. Keep the strength as you seek to be humble. Humble, show me the way. Rather than the arrogance of the ego that keeps saying, no, I'm in charge. I know. There's no love there. There's no self-love there. It's an attack. Every single time that you think you know something, you're attacking yourself. It'd be like taking a 2-year-old and holding their hand and having the 2-year-old slap their own face. Instead of accepting peace and joy and harmony as the new way, the new life. Here I am, declaring the love within my heart. Here I am. And here I want to affirm the love of the Divine Mother. I am here forever to learn to love. Here we are in this school of love. I have come to give thanks, gratitude, deep gratitude for this divine moment of this incarnation to come home and remember love. I've come to give thanks to all divine beings, so grateful for the opportunity to learn, to be shown the way, for all the blessings of every teaching, so grateful to all divine beings. And within the light of the Divine Mother, forever I will praise the truth of all divine beings. And I affirm never to aggrandize myself, never try to get proof of my worth in the world. Recognizing, accepting, I am only everything of the light of God. I am everything as I remember the light of God. In this world I have been small, not able to recognize love. But within the truth of light, I am the great love. I am the wholeness of love. And I'm here to love with all beloveds and remember to return home. All of us going together, praising God. Here within this power we have come to give thanks. We have come to open our hearts in gratitude for every moment of learning. The healing that is here now that we are receiving with yes within the heart, loving and giving thanks. The power of the transformation of yes, as the heart says yes. Eu aqui vou seguindo, declarando o amor dentro do meu coração. Eu aqui quero afirmar o amor de nosso Pai, para sempre eu amar. Aqui na escola do amor, eu venho agradecer a todos os seres divinos dentro da luz de nosso Mãe. Para sempre vou louvar e nunca me agradecer. Sou pequeno do tamanho do amor, para dentro desta luz o grande amor é poder ser. Amar junto com os meus irmãos, todos nós seguindo juntos, e o Deus poder louvar. Aqui dentro do poder, devemos agradecer a nosso Pai e nossa Mãe. As curas que vamos recebendo dentro do coração, amando e agradecendo. Every morning, there is a choice of believing you think you know what the day is for, or the realization that this is a day to be in the schoolroom of love. It's a choice. To be in the schoolroom of love is a conscious choice. It's to use every moment in its full capacity of purpose. Happily, not wanting to waste 1 second of this lifetime for any other purpose but to learn the truth of love. And how is that learning possible? The child that is afraid to learn, that child that is afraid to learn has a strategy. That strategy is to put its hand up and say, I know. I already know. I'll figure it out myself. I understand myself. I figure it out. And in that knowing, in that childish way of defense, of saying, I know, no learning can be accepted. This has to be brought into consciousness in order to recognize the mistake of that defense system. It's a learning in and of itself to learn that you want to learn. It makes no assumptions on the everyday journey. It has nothing to do with the rest of the world and how the rest of the world is in agreement of how it's living. You are in a call to remember. You are in this exquisite place of learning to remember, learning to love. And there is nothing in this world that can give you that learning in your old ways and relationships. It's not possible. Because those old ways and those old relationships and those old roles and ideas and strategies that you've carried were not of God. They have no resemblance to the way of love. So it's a leap of faith, for sure, to want to be the happy learner, to want to be grateful, happy for the opportunity of learning. There is an actual state of being happy to be conscious enough to recognize I want to learn and I want to be shown the way. There's a happiness there that you have spent all of these lifetimes walking in the world, in lifetime after lifetime, in a trance, not available for this learning. And now, in choice, the veil is thin enough that you can embrace the happiness of learning, to be so consciously grateful that the past of what you thought you knew was not true. You don't have to figure it out. Just so grateful that you were mistaken. Grateful that the hell that you made is almost over because of this lifetime, this moment, all of the stars colliding into this moment of your life. That it is the moment of remembering. By your choice, by your happy choice. If you choose to begrudgingly make the choice to accept love, you're fooling yourself. The relationship with love is not adversarial, except if you make it so. And it's only adversarial because you are unconsciously, sometimes consciously, but mostly unconsciously choosing to make it a battle. And to be afraid of love's healing. The power of transformation is real. The power of love is real. It is not theoretical. It is not a fairy tale. It is real. When you invite the learning, when you want to be in the schoolroom of love, love will transform everything that you offer into love's hands. All that you're participating in is the willingness to no longer be dishonest with yourself about the lies of the past, but to really want the spirit of love to shine the light on the made-up world, and want the illumination of truth into your awareness. Let's say you think you know someone, and this is in the schoolroom of love. You think you know someone. In every moment, because it's a schoolroom of love, and there is the gratefulness for learning, every single relationship is brought to question. Every single relationship is brought to the light, that you are willing to truly surrender every one that you have given an identity to, that you would surrender into the hands of God those relationships one by one that you do not know that beloved. That everything you thought you knew was not true. That every beloved is the light of God and has an exquisite energy expression that is unknown to you because you made up stories about them. And as you see these beloveds and you choose to be in the schoolroom of love, you are saying, I want to be aware of our oneness. I no longer want to be in the idea of our separation by body identity, by name identity, by age identity, by structure identity, by story identity. I surrender it. I surrender it because I'm in the schoolroom of love, and I'm so happy to learn the truth of this beloved. I'm so happy to have this opportunity to see the light and to come home to the light of love. We are here declaring the love in our hearts. But how can you declare the love in your heart unless you're present and happy to do so? Happy to declare the love in your heart through action, through blessings, through comforting others in truth. Not comforting. There's no comfort in saying to someone, oh, you're right, you're someone to be just pitied, you're such a mess. That's not compassion. Compassion is, I'm holding you in the truth of love, and even though you're believing in a suffering, I'm holding you in the light of who you truly are. If I join you in your belief of suffering, I can't serve you. It's like being on an airplane. And when the mask comes down with oxygen, You choose to put the oxygen on your face so that you can serve others. You don't serve anyone by holding beloveds in a false identity. Declaring the love in my heart, I offer that love, and I'm happy that the past was not the truth. Every beloved is a divine being. No exceptions, only love. And the declaration of love is in every moment choice, choosing to offer love. We have not come to take prisoners, even though you thought you did. You thought you came to take prisoners by making everybody your personal identity. You gave everyone an identity through your own mind. Nothing else has been made except that identity has been made of everything. We have not come here to take prisoners, but to surrender even more deeply to freedom and joy. We have not come into this world to hold ourselves hostage from love. And yet, in the belief of the past, in the belief of knowing when you're not aware that you are in a schoolroom today, and that that is your divine purpose, in that moment you are holding yourselves a hostage from love by choice. This is self-attack. But the waking up is to wake up first and see, really, would you really want that choice? Do you really want to continue the past by holding yourself hostage from love? Run, my dear. Run from anything that might not strengthen your precious budding wings. And that means running from your mind, because that's the only thing that can hinder and not strengthen your precious budding wings. Your own ideas of what you think you know are the only hindrance that there is. No one else is keeping you from deeper love and from recognizing love. Only your own mind. We have a duty to befriend those aspects of obedience that stand outside of our house and shout to our reason, oh please, come out and play. For we have not come here to take prisoners or to confine our wondrous spirits, but to experience ever and ever more deeply our divine courage, freedom, and light. You have the way home, but it's to implement it day to day, moment to moment of that divine choice. Does it take courage? Yes, it does take courage. But it takes just that shifting of recognizing that, are you happy to have this opportunity of learning? Are you happy to be in the schoolroom of love? Are you recognizing that happiness every day? To be so happy that you weren't right about what you thought you knew? That is the journey of love. To surrender all attachment to being right in every moment. What happens when you're not right? Or when you relinquish your attachment to being right? You open to happiness. The happiness that the past is not what you think it is. That it was a dream that you made up that said, I am without. And it's not true. to surrender all attachment to being right. Moment to moment. Can you imagine stopping? You have a thought. You think you have a thought. You even think that your thought makes sense. And in that moment you question, because you're happy to question. Happy to question. In this moment, do I think I know something? Do I think I'm right? Or would I rather be happy? I can choose again. I can choose peace. I can choose joy. I can choose harmony. And I can choose to let go of what I think I know. And as I let go of being right about what I think I know, I can choose happiness. And that is the development of joy. That is when you start nurturing joy within you, because you're so happy that you don't know anything. And that you weren't right. We have not come here to take prisoners, but to surrender ever more deeply to freedom and joy. It is a leap of faith, absolutely. And what stands in the way? Blame. Blame keeps the illusion going. Now maybe you don't think of blame as anything but the overt blame. But blame comes through knowing. Blame comes through having evidence to make decisions on, and the fear that you might be blamed, so you have to blame somebody else. And the blame is always there about the past, because that is where all blame has its source. I'm a mess because of the past. I blame it on the past. I'm suspicious because of the past. I blame it on the past. I'm afraid of opening my heart because of the past. I'm blaming the past. To be happy that you're mistaken and that there's nothing to blame, because it's not true. You're the light of God. You had a concept of self that was upside down and inside out, that has no reality. And in the honesty of love, you accept that there is no blame possible. You could blame the stock market. You could blame being a body. You could blame bad genes. You could blame that you aren't as smart as your neighbor because of your genes, your genetic makeup. This is all made up. This is all totally fabricated to keep the blame going and to not embrace love. Love. We are not here to take prisoners. We are not here to find blame so that we can crucify everyone that we think we know. It's an easy out. You can blame time. You can blame age. You can blame the world. You can blame the economy. You can blame whatever you want to blame. But there will be no healing. Because blame will keep the game going. The happiness of not being right is where the shift gets made. The willingness. Holding grievances is an attempt to prove God's plan for healing will not work. Every time you have an idea of a grievance, you're basically saying, here's my evidence, God's plan will not work. I cannot heal. I'm not available. There is no availability. That's what I put my faith and trust into, is what I know. Whenever you consent to pain and suffering and see yourself as deprived or unfairly treated, same thing as blame, it all goes together. Deprived, believing that you are lacking in whatever way you think you might be lacking, you are not accepting, you hold a picture of your crucifixion before God's eyes. You say, God is not right, I am right. I am right. And there's no healing. But healing is always waiting to be offered to you and is waiting there for the invitation. And your invitation is in the happiness that this is your schoolroom of love, and that everything within this world the Spirit of love can use to transform. Through the form itself, it will transform. Every situation, every moment can be used by love to transform. Who do you perceive as guilty and you would crucify? Now, almost everybody would say, I'm nobody. I don't do that. Except that every time you have an opinion about someone and you are not seeing them as the light of God, you are choosing to see them as limited and in need of crucifixion. There's no neutral. Why is this honesty so important? Because if you don't recognize the blame and the vengeance and the wanting to crucify, the ego will put it in such a way that it seems justified. You will see it through the lens of that you believe something is being done to you, and that you deserve to have this judgment of someone, that you deserve to be right. But there's no love there, and there's no truth at all. You can bring healing in every moment of your journey in the schoolroom of love. You can bring healing and restore guiltlessness to everyone, to all that you choose to see as guiltless. What is it for everyone else to be guiltless? They've done nothing, and they can't do anything that changes them from the light of God. That you refuse your interpretations, your reactions, you refuse them because they're lies from the past. And you choose to see the light in every beloved, and to bless every beloved, and to not see them through your fear that they can hurt you, that they can do something to you, that they can take something from you, that they have power over you, that you have to please them. And that pleasing them is such a habit. It's so ingrained that you let yourself go into a trance in your everyday life, and you just rely on your automatic responses. That you just automatically react in every way that you think is quote unquote acceptable and normal. So if someone says to you, I like your haircut. And your automatic response is, oh, thank you very much. Yes, I just got it cut, and it's like this, and it's like this, and it's like this. Instead of really asking, I'm here to offer love. There's nothing personal here. How can I truly offer love? Really, honestly, in this moment, how can I offer love? instead of the habits of the past, where it's just a trance state where you just do automatically what you've always done. It's that wanting to be in the schoolroom, that wanting to be connected and led and choosing to serve love. Choosing to serve love. Everyone has heard the word crucifixion. And there's so much distortion about the meaning of the crucifixion. The crucifixion is always the ego's aim. Always the ego's aim. You want to blame, you want to crucify, you want to prove that you're right and that someone else is wrong, even in the slightest little way. It's your own crucifixion that occurs in that moment, because you're not available for the resurrection. You're not available to remember the light, and that there is no death, and that there is no pain and suffering, that this is all self-conceptualized, has no truth at all. Run, my dear, from anything that may not strengthen your precious budding wings, your wings of love. Run from your mind's thinking. Refuse to give your mind its old habits and ways of judging and of projecting onto the outside world what you think you know and what you're so afraid of about who you are, instead of accepting, happily accepting. Every sacred teaching is directing me that I'm the light of God, and that everyone is the light of God, and that there is nothing else. And this world that you've made up will disappear, and only the love will remain if you choose to walk in the schoolroom of love, moment to moment. The Holy Spirit is offering to teach you about gentleness, and to reestablish the reign of love. That is the purpose here in this incarnation. To let the Holy Spirit teach you of the gentleness of love, of blessings, of comfort that must be extended, that your heart has to be opened, and love must be extended, and to reestablish the reign of love. That is your purpose. In your own remembering, that is your purpose. To serve the Holy Spirit's reestablishment of the reign of love. The true reigning. Because everything else is fabricated. There's nothing to get. Everything is already the divine within. If you keep looking outside and trying to get and trying to prove and trying to change something on the outside, you're just in a distraction that has no way of bringing healing. Not in the slightest. The power of love is in your gentleness. The world doesn't see gentleness as power. The world sees power as forcefulness, as assertiveness, as pushing, as having your way, as attending to everything and making sure you get what you want coming from your own mind. Or the other side of the coin is you see yourself as a victim and that you're helpless, and then that just stirs up the anger, so then the belief of a false strength comes back anyways. It's all interconnected in a false identity. Gentleness is the strength and power of love. Gentleness. Not trying to convince anyone, not trying to win, not trying to prove, not trying to get, just the offering of gentleness. Not using gentleness as a weapon in any way, but to recognize with every offering of gentleness that there is nothing to get, and that you are offering this gentleness unconditionally. It has no conditions. There are no conditions attached to it. On the backside, there's no conditions. I'll be nice to you, but I want something in return. I want you to be nice to me. I want you to prove that you're worth being nice to. This is not love without conditions. Love without conditions asks nothing in return, but keeps on offering love, keeps on giving, keeps on blessing, keeps on comforting. And what occurs in that offering of continuous love without conditions is an awakening to an honesty where you're not playing a game with yourself anymore of pretending. I'm going to pretend to be nice, but I'm really wanting acknowledgement. I'm really wanting to prove my worth. I'm really wanting to have a payoff of some kind. No. Honestly, there's nothing to get, and the willingness happily to accept that. I can't give when I'm trying to get. There is no love being offered here if I'm trying to get something. To love without conditions, to serve constantly in love. Refusing to accept the strategies of the ego. Each one you see, you choose to place within the holy circle of love by your choice. Each one that you see, you can choose to place them in the circle of love, the circle of healing love by your choice, or you can leave them outside and judge them because you think you know them. And that is what is actually going on. You're not aware of it, that's what's going on. But with each beloved that you think you have a judgment about, an opinion about, thinking you know something about them, you've given them a separate identity, you're saying, you're not in the circle of healing love. I'm not placing you in the circle of healing love. I'm saving those spaces. I don't know why, but I'm saving those spaces. There's nothing except your choice, your happy choice, your joyful choice to bring everyone into that circle of healing love by wanting to see them only as the light of God, and that they are guiltless, they are innocent, and they are all love. Everyone. Not just personal relationships, when you think of them as personal, but everyone. Everyone that you have agreed with humanity that they're a murderer, bring them into the circle of love. They are the innocence of God. They have done nothing. Every beloved into the circle of love. Here, in the union of love, the circle of love, This is where healing occurs, and this is the power of your choice. This is the happiness of being the happy learner. The happy learner that I have everything to learn because I don't know the way. But thank God this incarnation is my incarnation of remembering. This is my incarnation of learning to offer love, learning to follow. We have not come here to take prisoners, but to surrender ever more deeply to freedom and joy. Don't take any prisoners. Not unconsciously or consciously. And the unconsciousness it's still a choice. To stay unconscious is a choice. You can be conscious of your every moment's choice to offer love without conditions, or to rely on the past and follow habits and be right in your thinking. But no happiness is possible. It's only the same misery as the past. If you bring him into the circle of purity and innocence, you bring yourself into the circle of purity and innocence. Every beloved that you set free from your concepts of what you think you know. Your past is being called to be surrendered and healed. To really surrender the past. Everyone that you believed was to blame for your disturbed life. Every concept that you had of yourself as lacking something is being called to be surrendered into the power of love, into the power of true healing, and to accept that power of healing as real, authentic, valid. Let your concept of your life be disassembled. And be happy that it is being disassembled. Be happy that sometimes you won't know up from down. And that you have to keep asking for directions. I don't know the way. Show me the way. Is this most helpful? Show me the way. Am I choosing peace? Am I choosing harmony? Am I choosing joy? Am I consciously choosing? Or am I just wanting to stay in a trance and let the blame of the past be in charge? Because when you are in a trance and you don't consciously want to choose, it's always blame and pain that's running. It's always in the I know, which is coming from the past, which is going to include blame and worry and strategies and defense of some kind. But there's no need for that. Love is wanting to serve you constantly. Always. Always. There's nothing ever missing to choose. We have not come into this world to hold ourselves hostage from love. But to have the honesty that, am I holding myself hostage from love? Is what I'm thinking right now holding myself as a hostage from love? That's the question. Is this what I'm thinking right now? Is it my assessments, my judgments, my whatever opinions or conclusions? Are they serving my healing? That's my choice. Show me the way. And help me to choose peace and harmony and joy. Because I'm happy that I'm in the schoolroom. I'm happy to have this opportunity of learning. And let me be shown how to learn. I don't know how to learn. Mother, oh my mother, please come here, please, and teach this child of yours who doesn't yet know how to love. Teach me to love. Teach me. Let me be the learner instead of I know. Like the 2-year-old that is in a defense system that says, I know, don't tell me what to do, I know. Be honest about the weariness that runs within you, that you're tired of the battle, that you're tired of the defense, that you're tired of being right and of knowing. Be happy that you were mistaken. Be happy that the world that you made in your little self-concept is not true of you. That you have done nothing, that you have changed nothing of the truth of love, that nothing has been altered from the beauty and the perfection of all love. And just because you're not aware of the truth of love does not mean anything. Your awareness is not the reliable source of the truth of the power of love that is totally present. That you turn to masters for, to affirm to you that only love is real and that there is nothing else in reality, just love, just peace, just harmony, just joy. Just. Not as in limited, but in there is nothing else. And it's everything and it's who you are. To accept your journey home. To accept and to affirm, I want to be the happy learner, and I choose to be the happy learner. I choose to follow every sacred teaching, and I will be redirected again and again and again as I ask for that redirection. We have a duty to befriend those aspects of obedience that stand outside of our house and shout to our reason, oh please, come out and play. Obedience. Obedience and discipline. Discipline is essential because discipline says, I'm making a new choice and I devote myself to that new choice. The choice of love. And discipline is actually being the disciple of love, of recognizing your purpose, your true calling, the reason for you to be incarnated in the first place is to remember the truth of love. And to happily accept, I am the disciple of love. I am the disciple of love. And to accept that journey, that purpose. Taking no prisoners. Least of all you. That you don't keep yourself as a prisoner anymore of your mind. that you let go of your prison and being a prisoner of what you thought you knew. No prisoners.